Thank you so much for joining me. This is Kevin C. Pride with the Atlanta Business Journal. Today I had the honor and the privilege to sit down with the legend himself, Mr. Louis Gossett Jr. Mr. Gossett, thank you so much for this time today.
My pleasure.
You have been living your life on the screen since 17 years old.
Since I was 17, that's over 60 years ago.
Wow. How does that feel?
It feels, I keep thinking about it on a daily basis. I'm very fortunate to, I didn't know what acting was, and I got my first part was a lead on Broadway, never seen a play.
Wow.
So it's kind of divine intervention. I respect it in retrospect, because I come from a society with post-depression children.
Wow.
So there's nobody better than anybody else, you know. So if my parents didn't get home at night in Brooklyn, I had a choice of going around the world. I could smell my way around the world. I could get some lasagna, I get some corned beef and cabbage, I get some gefilte fish, some fried chicken, and menudo. Whoever was home, we sat there. We played together. We were very poor. We had broomstick handles for bats and balls and punch balls, and the girls had chalk and rope. So we kind of relied on one another, you know. Third base was the Chevrolet on the left.
Wow.
And we created a society. And out of that society came the Barbra Streisands, Jackie Robinson. That's why the Brooklyn Dodgers put Jackie Robinson there, because we had a political thing where we were kind of together. There was Jacob Javis's and David Susskind's and the Actors Studio, the movies, the Hollywood was all in New York. And those particular people, as I grew up, my first agent was one of those people I grew up with.
Wow.
So I had no idea about racism at the time. So it's like lightning in a bottle.
Wow.
People dreamed to be doing that, and I just got it like that. I didn't know about racism until I got to California. You know.
So now California is pretty liberal.
Or so you thought.
Okay.
But so it was the William Morris Agency. And then Hollywood started going from New York to California, the Universal. Okay. Lou Wasserman, a good friend, and they had a thing called the Movie of the Week.
Okay.
The first one was a thing called Companions in Nightmare, and it had Donna Winter and Leslie Nielsen, William Redfield, some great actors, all come out of New York, and me, and I played. It was about a group, therapy group, and somebody in that group was murdering people, Gig Young and people like that. So it got me for my first job in Los Angeles. So they put me on wasn't even a 747, it was because it wasn't a 747 at the time, it was propeller.
Okay.
TWA. They put me in first class, they thought I was an African diplomat, you know?
Wow.
And they just sliced the thing, and when I got to California, the limo came out and put me in the limo. I must be the president of Ghana. So they took me to the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Wow.
Gave me the presidential suite. And I said, I'm amazed, you know, this is California, you know? And so finally, they said, you have a rental car. And it's down at Hertz rental car, down Sunset Boulevard. To drive it, it's about 20 minutes.
Okay.
So I went down to Hertz rental car and got my Ford Galaxy 500 with the hardtop. And I put some Sam Cooke music on.
Okay.
Took me 4.5 hours to get back to the hotel.
Wow.
I met every policeman in the town, in the state.
Oh,
Every 15 yards, they pulled me out, put my hands on the hood, because you must not be from around here.
Wow.
That evening, they handcuffed me to a tree for 3 hours.
Oh my God.
It was my first abject experience with racism. Broke my heart.
That's
Yeah, I was just free. I grew up with a mixture, but that was isolated to that society in New York. So finally, I kind of made an adjustment. My father said, he's going to be right there. He's in Coney Island somewhere. I said, he's going to be right there. And my agent, he said, you know, what are you going to do? I said, well, I'm going to go to work. He said, that's what I expected you to do. That's why they chose you.
Okay.
So I did it and made some friends, and I had to go to the hippies because they're the ones that allow us to hang out together.
That's true.
So all those years, I've been sticking with those particular people where there's a mutual acceptance.
Okay.
Sometimes we have to hide. But that mutual acceptance is the salvation of this country and this world.
Now, I read an article, and you recently said something. You're no longer African American, you're American African.
Absolutely.
Can you explain that for me?
Everybody you talk to here in this country, they're proud of where they come from.
Okay.
They're proud of France, and we know all about the French. Napoleon, we know about the Arc de Triomphe, we know about de Gaulle. And if you come from Italy, you know all about the Rome, but hello. So I started to dig, and it became antisocial for me to know that I come from somewhere like Ghana or the Ivory Coast. So I got very curious. My first movie, it's that picture up there you'll see. It's called The Bush Baby. So that was done in 1961, something like that. It was the first year that Jomo Kenyatta was president. First year that the country of Kenya had national television.
Wow.
So they imported all the television that we did in New York. That's Cicely Tights. They knew about us, we didn't know about them.
Okay.
So they couldn't afford the TVs in their home, so they would block traffic and see the TVs through the store windows. So what I did before I got there is I did an episode of The Nurses.
The Nurses.
And I played a juvenile delinquent, right? I was shot in the stomach and had 9 stitches in my stomach, and I tried to escape from the emergency ward of the hospital. The stitches broke and I died. So it's just 4 or 5 days a week.
Okay.
Fade out, fade in. I come to Africa and get off at Nairobi, and these young brothers, and I don't know no Swahili, they say, what do you do? All they think about the Africans is what I saw on TV.
Okay.
And they weren't acting like that, so I got a little scared, a little paranoid. They followed me from the airport to the hotel, and they stopped traffic. So finally a young brother come out and he says, "Excuse me, sir." I said, "What?" "Could you do me a favor?" I said, "It depends. What you want?" "Take off your shirt."
Take off your shirt?
So I opened my shirt, and he went nuts. And he went outside, and he started talking in Swahili. And a whole big crowd. And he came back and says, "How did you do that?" "How did I do what?" "How did you come back to life?"
So they thought it was true what they were seeing on TV?
First year of television.
Wow.
It's different now.
Yes.
But that's how pure the society is. So then they took me on a road, and I saw the Maasai, and the cattle, and the young 15-year-olds with spears. In order for them to be a man, they have to kill a lion.
Wow.
And I realized that that society is older than any society that I had studied. The Kikuyu, the Maasai. So that when the explorers came to Africa, we were studying animal husbandry, astrology, medicine, mysticism. So when they opened up the door, we were taking care of ourselves. And the tribal effort is what keeps us here today.
Okay.
You young people don't realize your continuance. You know about the Octrion, but you don't know about the Bantu and the Maasai. So it's not a threat for us to know that, because now in full circle, that system of whatever they did in that tribe at every age is for the benefit of the whole tribe.
Now, how important do you see Ancestry in this day and age? Because I see so many pushes for everybody, find out where you're from, get your ancestry. How important is that?
I think it's very important. Ancestry is extremely important today.
Okay.
Especially for those particular people who consider themselves minorities, because they were disconnected on purpose.
Yes.
So they didn't know. So other people knew about us, but we didn't know about ourselves. So that system, that tribal system, that when a child is born, as soon as it's able to walk, it's got to do something to add to the benefit of the whole tribe.
Wow.
The goat's milk, whatever it is, it goes in the middle and everybody ate. The children were put together, and the tribe nourished. Everybody had to do something for the benefit of the whole tribe.
Wow.
So they figured that out as the first civilizations ever on the planet. The oldest skull was Professor Leakey from Switzerland.
Okay.
Found the oldest skull at the foot of Mount Kilimanjaro.
Wow.
So that when the first explorers get there, we had been doing what we were doing for quite a few years, right?
Okay.
So that system is what makes us survive.
Okay.
Everybody had something to do, including the elder. That philosophy is necessary for mankind today.
Okay.
There's no, I'm better than you are. So racism got in there because I'm better than you are does not work anymore. Our planet is dying. And our first job on every human being is to do what you can do for the benefit of not just your family, but your village, your city, and your country, and the world. And if we don't do that, we're going to go to another planet and do the same thing.
That's amazing. That is amazing information. Now, you have had a tremendous experience in this country. I mean, Oscars, Emmys, you've been all over the world. How important has that experience been in shaping your opinions and shaping the person that you are?
The pluses and the minuses of that success, and it is pluses and minuses, because I have every award that an actor could possibly win. I should be a trillionaire. but I'm not. But
Okay.
instead, I did just like what I did in childhood. The stuff that I have is priceless. The lessons I want to pass on to the young is priceless. People can't take that information, and they don't realize it, that what you learn from that oldest culture is what's going to save everybody.
Wow.
I mean, they figured it out. Even the Declaration of Independence and the Statue of Liberty, all that stuff. But we don't live that way. So we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created, etc. But then we stop singing and then we go do something else.
Okay.
So if we don't take care of one another and this planet, we all may as well be in a 747 airplane. You know, it's up at 30,000 feet. It's about to crash, man. The plane's going to crash. Well, people inside the plane are fighting over who's going to be in first class.
Wow.
That's what's happening.
Wow.
The oceans are drying up. The polar thing is turning into water. The fish are sick. The weather has changed because we're not paying attention to what we're supposed to be doing, our environment.
You know, it's amazing. I sat down with Reverend Gerald Durley, and he's a huge proponent for climate change.
Oh, man.
And the biggest thing is, how do we start to really push this message to our community? Because we got other issues that we worried about. And like he said in the interview, you know, we can't worry about whether a polar bear has a glacier to crawl around on, because we're worried about, you know, brutality and poverty and all the things that we're worrying about.
Well,
but how important is this climate change issue to us?
It's all in one cup of coffee.
Okay.
It's natural that the earth is slowing down. Our number one job is to adjust ourselves as the superior human intellectual on this planet. So now, if we prejudice against one another, we're being number one, we're not taking care of the ocean.
Okay.
If the ocean is healthy, that polar bear's got something to eat, the fish in the ocean is fresh, and it's the domino principle. So it's not different, it's the same. So what can I do for the benefit of the whole is extremely important. The people that I've spoken to about the foundation is, I look on television and I see, oh, there's Angola. Look at them kids, they're 3 years old. Donate $5 a month for this. I said, what do you mean, donate $5 a month? Feed the boy. You know, so that there should be no child on this planet who doesn't have free food, free clothing, free shelter, free education, and free love. Every child, which guarantees that the next generation is better. Because if you have a man in the North Pole without clothes, all he's going to be thinking about is getting warm.
It's true.
So if you deprive us of some stuff, it's just all we're thinking about is our freedom. So now, at this old age, I want to tell you young folks, you're already freer than you think.
Yes.
The rest is camouflage.
Wow.
So if you reconnect to your roots and get those lessons, you are responsible for the salvation of the planet.
Wow.
You don't have to fight about these education stuff. That'll take care of itself.
Wow. I could literally sit here and talk to you all day, but I don't want to take up all your time.
Yeah.
But fast forward a little bit. What brings you to Georgia?
Last 5 projects I did was been in Augusta and Savannah and Atlanta. I worked with Tyler Perry a couple of times.
Okay.
And my roots are here. That's my great-grandmama. And so as a child at 6 years old, I came down very, very African in retrospect. And I was just responsible for the raising of the yellow meat watermelon.
The yellow meat watermelon.
Yeah, so it's not all that popular, but it's the sweetest thing there is. But it doesn't have a shelf life. You can't make no money in the supermarket.
Okay.
You got to buy it right from the farm. But I was the expert. Me and my cousins would come down there and sleep head to toe and spend the summer out of the city at the farms in Athens, right outside of Athens, Watkinsville, Georgia.
Wow.
And our great uncle, Governor Stevens was his name. It was very funny. He was expert. So all the trucks would back up, and all of his stuff would go in those trucks, get on the train, the Silver Media and the Silver Streak, like Richard Pryor movie with Gene Wilder, and go up the coast, and all that stuff would be dropped off at the best restaurants all the way up to Boston.
Okay.
And what we'd do is we'd take our thumbnail and put a little sign on the watermelon. So I'm sitting there one opening night, I went to a place called Sardi's.
Okay.
And my cousin's watermelon was on my plate.
Wow. That had to be an experience. Wow.
So I called him and said, I got your watermelon on my plate. But we have to realize what we need to learn and what is being imposed.
Okay.
And we can't be angry about it. We had to go through what we went through so we know what's right and what's wrong. So at the end of this so-called controversy with Trump and all that people, we have to sit and be couched in the truth.
Wow.
We have to be the most patriotic.
Now, that brings us to what you're doing now, and that's the Eracism
Yep.
Foundation. I will humbly try to make this be a better planet for you. That is a beautiful thing.
That's my grandson.
That's your grandson?
My grandson.
Wow.
First time he was on my lap, we did not pose for that.
Okay.
So he could be saying you got bad breath. No, but that's it. He's been in that pool 15, 20 times.
Wow.
He can't wait to get back here. That connection, every other connection, that's important.
Now,
Yeah.
What is the essential thing for the foundation?
Foundation is to eliminate the disease of racism.
Okay.
It happens in mankind. We can't complain about slavery because we're the first ones to have slaves because we conquered the world.
Okay.
We made eunuchs, we put women in harems. We paid those dues because we became slaves.
That's true.
So we learned a lesson. If we reconnect with what's essential for mankind, our first job is to maintain the health of the planet, which we know how to do. Plant properly at the sides of the moon, the way some of the old farmers do. Take care of ourselves and be a tribe of people for the benefit of the whole. That will save the entire world. So God has very mysterious ways. He's got a sense of humor sometimes. Those particular people that you are prejudiced against can save your life.
Wow.
The American Indian too. It's all the people in the jungle of the Amazon. They're trying to burn them out now.
Yes, I saw that.
They have reasons. We have to learn from the people. They've been there long enough. That's longer than civilization. So we have to go back to the basics sometimes.
Okay.
And racism is a disease like alcoholism or drug addiction. If you take an alcoholic or a drug addiction and they have this thing in their hand and you say, you know, that's going to kill you if you take it, and you take it anyway. That's an addiction.
Okay.
Racism is an addiction. It's a disease. It says, they say they have a dictionary explanation, the removal from existence that one race is superior to another.
Wow.
It's not racist, it's mankind.
Now, how can we support the foundation if people want to support it?
Tell you what I'm going to do. No. I'm going to get help with you brothers and sisters here in Georgia and elsewhere to really define how it can happen. It first starts with me. So now I'm kind of literate, and I see elements of it globally. And I see how we can self-destruct globally.
Okay.
But it has to start inside of us, each and every one of us, to figure out what we do on a daily basis for our communion together. We're not too far away.
Okay.
Because everybody wants it, but they don't know how.
But do you find that racism is almost kind of like a natural thing? Because you see it in almost every country, you see it in almost every group of people, and
it's a disease of mankind.
Okay.
It's like, it's not just Europe, but they learned how to do that with the weapons and stuff. They had to fight their way out of caves and bats, and the more they conquered, the better they felt, right? Down here in Africa, in the continent of Africa, you had 5 or 6 major societies. They kind of fought, but what they did, the slight difference, is spread their culture. So that you see people who look like they come from a certain place. And even in Georgia, I can see people, they don't even know that they might have Bantu roots,
Okay.
or roots because the slaves came from the coast. So some of them look like they come from the Ivory Coast. There's a brother here look like he come from Trinidad, but he come from the Ivory Coast or Ghana somewhere.
Okay.
And my people came from Guinea.
Guinea?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we figured some stuff out. And so when the explorer came and he saw how we were so strong, he kind of made a poor decision, I think. If I don't do something, we're going to be the last civilization on the planet.
Wow.
That's fear. So if I see you and I have to watch what you do 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, when I should be doing something else, I'm scared of you.
Okay.
We have the power to relay that fear. So we get together as mankind for our mutual salvation of the planet. But fear is a dangerous thing.
That's true.
So we can allay that fear. And it's happening. Look at the football, look at basketball, look at baseball, look at movies, and look at the... So we're not starting from scratch.
We're
going that direction anyway.
Period.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're breaking that mold. This is the most important one. That we break the things that separate us.
Wow.
And add to the things that we need to do together. Mainly to make the food chain a little bit better, take better care of our children and one another. Otherwise, nobody wins nothing.
I like I said, I could literally sit here and talk to you all day, but thank you so much for giving us this time. And I would like to congratulate you on being one of the top 25 most extraordinary Atlantans for the Atlanta Business Journal.
Wow, thank you. Where's the check?
It's in the mail.
There's
Well,
a
thank you
Brooklyn
so
girl
much.
over there. But that's on a daily basis. I encourage everybody to think, what can I do for the benefit of the whole?
Wow.
And what you get back, you'll be amazed.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kevin C. Pride for the Atlanta Business Journal, and I am once again here with the legendary Louis Gossett Jr. Thank y'all so much for watching.